Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome.
If you're still there, that is.
Crickets, tumbleweed.
Exactly. Sarah and I, Jenny, we're back with our first episode for 2019, actually. So,
Yeah. That's
well
very,
done,
very
us.
true.
I know we haven't. I think the last one that we did was like mid 2018 or something. It was before
No
I started
way.
working. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like during the summer, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a while
So
ago.
it's been almost a year, but we just decided like not doing the podcast has been wearing on our minds. Like we could just tell that it had a bad effect on us.
Yeah.
We really missed doing it. It was a great way for us as well to sort of have a catch up and just chat and just have a bit of banter.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're back. I mean, we just decided to just pick it up again. They might not be as perfect. I think one of the issues that we had is we put a lot of pressure on us. And for both of us, it's the first time doing the podcast. And we just thought, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be in the perfect mood.
Exactly.
So we're
Even
gonna
in
do
terms
these-
of like editing and stuff, we're going to be a bit more lax with it. Not edit out completely every single swear word or so yeah.
Although we did that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I did. I don't know about you.
Did you?
Yeah,
I didn't give a fuck.
I so much, and it was really pissing me off listening back to the recordings. I was just like, bloody hell, that is really going to grate on our listeners. I need to delete them all out. Get really paranoid about stuff like that.
I think the thing about the and the is also that we just had that pressure on us that we wanted to be so perfect. We wanted it to be like a polished format, whereas this time
We want to be
we're
more
aiming-
relatable to the people.
Exactly. It's literally just going to be the two of us having a catch up, and you know, if you guys want to listen in, it's like listening in on someone's convo when you're on the tube or on the train or something. Like that's kind of the format.
Fucking hell. I hate that shit when people are having like full blown conversations and it's like 9 a.m. in the morning and it's like a really deep, like personal conversation. And you're
Wait,
just
you don't
I
like
don't
it?
want No, because I'm just so tired and I'm dealing with my own depressive thoughts in the morning and I don't need other conversations butting into my thoughts. Piss off.
You just stood there on the platform thinking, should I jump, should I not jump? And then this person is sort of discussing Nietzsche and fucking philosophy
Yeah,
and the
none of
existence
that,
of life. And
please.
you're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
But that's what headphones are made for, innit? You just tune out all the
that's true.
noise.
Very,
So,
very
yeah.
true.
So
what's-
for today, I guess what we're doing is we're just going to have like a catch-up. We're just going to talk about what we've been doing the last year. No, we're not going to do that.
Last year, bloody hell, it's going to be a long one. So just the last few months, I guess, just going through things that we've been up to, maybe a bit of news if we feel like it. Just a really casual, laid-back podcast. So should we start off with what have you been up to? What have you been doing these last few months? Where have you been hiding?
Well, I'm still in Canada, in beautiful Canada. Thankfully, the winter is done. This fucking country, I swear to you, like, I don't regret moving here, blah, 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 but it's a fucking horrendous, like, this country has 2 seasons.
Right.
It's either snow, which goes from pretty much October up until April,
Jesus.
and then it has, like, summery, sort of. It's...
Oh my god.
But the thing is, like, you're reminded of snow all year through. You can... Because it snows so much. Like, so much, bro. It doesn't melt away. So even in June, you can see hills of snow at places. And it's like, what the fuck?
Do you get
Do you know what I mean?
blizzards, or is it just like really deep snow?
No, we get blizzards as well. This year we've had
Shit.
2 or 3 snowstorms.
God.
Which for me luckily meant that I was able to work from home. So that was pretty chill. But yeah, it's just... And
I do
driving
like
here is such a
snow,
nightmare.
but I think too much of anything is just too much, isn't it? Like, I like
Exactly,
the
yeah.
odd day of snow or the odd day of rain. It's nice and relaxing, but then when it's like every
It's so
freaking
lovely
day,
when you wake up and it's like white
yeah,
and so like sort of pure. It's lovely, but it doesn't stay that way for long because people have to get on the streets and then it gets this brown mush. It looks like diarrhea.
Ew.
It's so bad.
Nice,
But yeah.
lovely. So
That's
apart
an
from
image
the
for
weather,
you.
what's
Enjoy.
new? What's been going on? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've been fortunate enough to get a new job. Well, I sort of
Woo!
had two jobs after we stopped doing the podcast, and the first one we shall not talk about, because I do care about my mental health, and some things you just don't want to think about too much.
Okay, that bad. Bloody hell, you've got some serious PTSD from it.
I think, yeah, like just being at my current job, I think just shows me how toxic my last two places have been. The one that we were, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, like right now, I'm fortunate enough to be working at an amazing NGO.
Yeah,
and
you found the holy grail of managers and jobs.
Exactly,
It's like,
it's
they're so
the right
lovely.
team, the right job, the right sort of organisation. So I'm feeling very fortunate.
Wow,
to have
that's
been doing
great.
that, so.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy for you. And like, you've sounded so much happier every time we talk or text. You are like, you're just floating on air because you're doing something that's a bit more meaningful and a bit more fulfilling, and your manager's great. She actually genuinely cares about you, which is so nice to hear.
Yeah.
So good for you, man. I'm really happy for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm still a miserable fuck, but I think that's just who I am as a person.
We always talk about that literally every day. We're like, when are we going to be fully happy and content with our lives?
Exactly, yeah.
It's just not who we are. We're like perfectionists to the core. Like, we have to constantly strive for something better, even if we were probably like living in Dubai and we were like married to sheikhs and stuff.
I would definitely be miserable if I were fucking living in Dubai and married to a sheik. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
You know, like if we were living like that Gwen Stefani lifestyle, we were like traveling around and we had the ideal, like in quotation marks, lifestyles, we'd still be unhappy. We'd still be whinging.
Oh, yeah.
We still would be.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's quite common. I don't think it's just the two of us. Like, if I talk to most of my friends, all of us are like, oh, I wish we could go back to like when we were kids in high school. I wish I could move to XYZ. I wish I could move back to XYZ. I think that's always going to be there. Like, you're always going to be striving for something better or something that you perceive as something. Well, it's that whole shebang about the grass is green on the other side, and that's
Definitely.
It's not always true. Like, I do sort of romanticize certain things and certain memories in my past, and I know it didn't live up to that standard. I know I'm making it greener than it actually is. But I think that's just human nature, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. It is, and we have spoken about this so many times. It's like, it's with everything. It's like with relationships, with lifestyles. It's just like, oh my God, life could always be better. And I think like when you actually reach that stage, when you're in complete bliss and happiness in your present moment, that is when you've reached nirvana. And that is like the key to life. Just being happy in the present moment. Like, philosophers and like every religion speaks about it. Just being like present and happy in the moment. Yeah, that's a bit of meditation preaching.
No, it's true. Like, again, I'm so, like, job-wise, I'm so happy and so content. But then, like, recently, I don't know what triggered it. Like, in the past, I've always been homesick for London. That's happened so often. Being homesick for London and, like, the people there. But, like, the last sort of, I want to say, like, 2-3 weeks, I've been so homesick for Germany.
Yeah,
like, and it's not even the people, it's not even my family, my brothers and sisters and all that stuff. It's more just the country itself, just being in the country, just hearing the language, being surrounded by Germans.
And where did that come from?
Do you know what I think? And I don't want to, like... Listen, I've been talking shit about Canada, and I'm really like, this is a great country, right? Like, if the tourism board is listening, guys, you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm more than happy to be your ambassador, if need be. Like, it's a great country, but I feel like it's very different from Europe, and it's different from Europeans. Be that mainland Europeans or be that UK people, although they like to be, considered not European, as the recent past has shown us. But
so, what are the main differences that you really miss? Like, what really stands out for you, where you're like, fucking hell, I miss that about Germany or London that Canada doesn't have?
Well, I think one of the first things that sort of comes to mind, which isn't a bad thing, but it's weird that I start noticing it more and more. Is the fact that when you get here, people are so friendly, they are so welcoming, and they're so open, and they've always got a cheery smile on their face. Exactly. Like, I'm not used to that, neither Germany or at least my part of Germany, West Germany, or neither does the UK have the sort of attitude where you sort of go up to strangers and just, have a conversation and just sort of chat. You just don't do that. If someone approaches you while you're waiting for your train, you think you're going to get mugged. And I think that's the right reaction. Whereas here it's more of, because I do have the accent that I have, a lot of people are sort of intrigued by it, and I do get sort of talked at or sort of approached.
So you've got kind of like celebrity status there, and you don't like it.
Yes, I'm the hot shit over here, bro. Like, you have no idea. There are shrines of me. They're building a temple for me. It's mental.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy it.
No, but, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's very sort of...
Yeah, I know.
It's so friendly, but at the same time, like, no one is that happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one... Yeah,
so it's all a facade.
Nowhere in the world... It seems to be a bit of a facade. It just seems to be something that they put on to be friendly, although they might not feel that way. And that's worrying. That I found quite grating, exactly. Because I feel like...
alarming.
In the UK, but especially in West Germany, or in Germany, you can take people at face value. Do you know what I mean? If they like something, they'll tell you. If they don't like something... Exactly, you know exactly where you're at with people. Like, you get what you see. Whereas here, that's not the case, because, like, right away, they're just friendly. They're nice. But not everyone is happy and friendly and nice every day. You have your ups and you have your downs. I'm not saying that everyone in the UK and Germany is running around with a grumpy face, but if they're happy, they're happy. I've met people that are lovely and nice, but that is not the default mood. You know what I mean? Whereas this seems to be the default mood that you have to have. Otherwise, you're considered sort of, unsociable or
I really don't like that. I like real people. I just like to know what I'm dealing with.
So I think that's what's bringing out the I'm missing Europe and I'm missing sort of Germany, because I did have in the UK, because the UK is very similar to Germany in that regard, or to Europe in that regard. Whereas here, it is generally a different culture and a different...
How long have you been in Canada now? How long has it been?
It's like a year and a half.
Okay, so was it always grating on you, or is it something that you've started to kind of notice and get annoyed about?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm getting annoyed by it, but like a part of me is realising the lack thereof. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been so for like the last... month.
It's like you're over the honeymoon phase now, and you're like starting to see the cracks.
Probably, and also because, well, it's only sort of the last year that I've been working, right? So it's only the last year that I've been interacting with Canadians properly. And to be honest, the first job that I had was like a proper, like one of those Kafkaesque desk jobs where you just look at your screen and then you go home, you look at your screen, and, like, you don't have any human interaction. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was one of those sort of dark images that you have of office life. Whereas this one, I'm in communication, so I get to talk to people within my own organization. So I talk to programs, I talk to counseling, I talk to like admin, but I also talk to like external people. So there's much more communication, and they're so lovely, which makes the day go easier. Of course, if people are friendly, it makes it go easier.
Yeah, of course. You're not dealing with difficult people that have fuckloads of trauma and baggage, and well, maybe they do, but they don't show you, they don't bring it to work, which is good, I suppose. You're like an actor at work.
Exactly, but then I'm also like, now I have to do that as well. Do you know what I mean?
And that's tiring.
So
yeah,
that is tiring. That is, I can't just be grumpy, and it comes out naturally to be not grumpy. I don't want to say that, but it just being true to my emotions and just being true to my mood.
Yeah, I'd say just do whatever you feel like doing. If you feel like being moody, fuck it. I feel like people will appreciate that. They'll be like, there's the moody German/British guy over there, and like that's you. That's your niche thing. That's what you're known for. I'd say just own it. Whatever. But what about socially? Is everyone like that as well, or is that just in the office, like in the corporate environment?
Well, I mean, I've got different, like most people, I guess, I have different friendship circles, right? I have people that I sort of, I met from my UK days still, and they're a bit more like me. Mm-hmm. And it's more acceptable. Or I feel more comfortable just being any mood that I have around them. But then there are certain people that I met here that I'm not quite as comfortable with, where I just don't feel like I can whine and bitch. And that is one of my main hobbies. Like, I just love having a good fucking bitch. Like, it's so cathartic, right?
Yeah, of course. You need that person to bitch to. You do.
Yeah. So it's all about sort of who you're hanging out with. So luckily I do have. Sorry, I'm eating something, so that's really rude.
Go for it. I'm painting my nails. Fuck it, it's a Sunday afternoon. This is all I ever do. If I'm not talking to you on the phone, I'm like watching music videos, painting my nails. That is my weekend hobby. Or watching like Tiny Desk music performances. Yeah, I love it.
That is amazing.
Everyone needs their like fucking bum weekend day where they're just doing fuck all, being non-productive.
Today is that as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually sat in the car right now, which is kind of sad. So
Can you please tell me why you're sitting in your car now? Because I am so intrigued. She was like rushing to start the podcast, so she didn't have to tell me why. Can you explain it, please, to the listeners?
So basically,
do you not have a home?
Basically, I've been thrown out for being too English and too German. No, so basically, I'm staying in the city. I usually live in sort of the suburban areas, a bit outside of central. Well, I guess what would be central London to you? Mm-hmm. Because I went to watch Sarah Milken yesterday in the city, and I have like an event, a work event on Wednesday, which requires me to be in the city. So I'm just staying with my uncle, but he's got two lovely daughters who I adore. But my cousins, they're young and they're loud, and obviously they are. So I don't want to tell them to be quiet. Like, that's just fucking rude.
Yeah. Aw.
So I'm just here in my car and just recording this.
So logistically, how does it look? Yeah. Like,
I'm in the backseat of my car with my coffee, and I've got croissants and brownies and just like snacks.
Nice, brunching in the car.
It's pretty like if life ever gets really, really bad, and I have to live out my car, this ain't too bad. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god, that reminds me. My uncle once found a homeless man in his car in Italy, just like chilling, like living his life
in his own car.
Yeah. He like parked it in some really like broke down area in Naples, and he just found this homeless man like proper chilling and like just doing his thing in my uncle's car.
That's amazing.
Just living life in someone else's car. That's a good kind of like place to sleep, really. If you know how to break into cars.
That's fair enough. If you clean yourself up and if you don't shit in my car, like sure,
go for it.
I'll accept applications for that. Sure, why not?
Oh god,
that's one thing I don't like about Toronto City is how many homeless people there are.
Really?
There's so many homeless people. Like,
how come?
Not even a joke. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Isn't the government doing anything about it? No, like giving out like food, like shelters or anything.
Well, there are shelters, but like it's a huge country and there's so many people. Like there are quite a few shelters, like because I work in that area as well in shelters and stuff. But we just don't have that many beds, like because with the current government, so many funds have been cut. That NGOs like that are struggling, and like especially in the city for NGOs it's really tough. So these people don't have enough beds to go to, so they just end up sleeping on the streets. And like considering that we're in Canada with this crazy winter, I'm just like,
that's
how
horrible.
does that even?
It's horrendous.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I'm like, because again, I'm just romanticizing London. Like, I know there are homeless people. Of course there are.
Of course, yeah.
But there aren't that many, are there?
I don't know. There's been a bit of an increase. Only slightly, not that much. But like on Fleet Street, you'll see like one or two, and they're usually kind of like kneeling, and they've got their head to the pavement. That's like a new thing that they're doing, and they've got their hands out. And I just feel really bad walking around them and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's been quite an increase actually. But that's a lot to do with the cuts, and Oh, don't get me started on that, and just the shit-ass government that we've got at the moment. So yeah, that's a topic for another time. But I have been thinking a lot about kind of doing a bit more community work, doing a bit more charity work, and it's always on my to-do list, but I'm like, I never get the freaking time, which pisses me off. And I'm like, if I am going to do something, it will probably be around kind of like disadvantaged kids and helping them out, mentoring or just something like that. I'd love to do that, but it's just I
feel like youth, because like the thing is, having worked in NGOs for all of 6 months, I'm obviously an expert.
Look at you.
But I feel like people are so receptive to donating for kids and sort of mothers and stuff, but like youth, no one gives a shit about.
And they're the most important people to deal with the foundation. Like the youth become, you know, the adults. Like
eventually. The homelessness rate of youth and like young adults is so
really
scary.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's the same in the UK. Like I've seen, BBC.
So kind of like related but not related. I'm an absolute basic bitch. I bought and I'm reading the Michelle Obama book. But
did you? I would never have thought.
You know what? I've actually taken the cover off. I'm that embarrassed by it because it's such
Shut the fuck up. Why?
It's such a massive book. It's so big and like it's so fucking obnoxious to like hold it on the train, and like people are just. I hate people knowing what I'm reading as well. I'm really
that's true.
I hate that shit. So I've taken the cover off, but I'm actually really enjoying it, surprisingly. I didn't think I would. It looks like a massive Bible now that I've taken the cover off. So I look like a huge like Bible basher on the train. But it's been like really like it's been like a nice positive read, and it's been quite inspirational, and she's like basically talking about her childhood at the moment in quite a lot of detail.
So what exactly is the structure of the book? Is it more like it's not a help yourself kind of thing.
Oh, hell no, no.
Literally biography, like what happened.
Yeah. So it's like a memoir book, and it's called Becoming Michelle Obama. So it's kind of just talks about how she molds into being the first lady and stuff. And so yeah, she talks a lot about her childhood and like role models and like the adults around her and how they really encouraged her. She used to have this, so she was kind of growing up during the civil rights movement, so she had loads of like cool people around her that were really politically involved, really progressive and really cool. And I was like getting in that kind of mindset, and I was like, bloody hell, it would just be amazing to just be like a cool role model for someone younger. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Remember being a kid and looking up to like older girls and being like so in awe of them and being like, they're so cool, they've got their life together. Little did we know they're probably a mess. But just that made me think it would be great to do something, just like something for kids or just underprivileged kids or kids that have been through like the Grenfell tragedy or just something like that. I think it's so important to just make a difference if you can, like even if it's a tiny difference.
Don't they have this Big Brother Big Sister campaign?
No, they've got like mentoring stuff, which I think is pretty similar. But I mean,
that'd be amazing, especially like in the backdrop of Grenfell. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, when can I do that? It would have to be a weekend thing, and then even then, it's like pretty difficult to do. So, but
you could just look into how that mentoring would take place, because I don't think you'd have to like meet up every day. Like you could probably meet up for a bite or like a coffee at some point during the week, and then just be available like via phone calls and texting and all that stuff. I think that would be
so that's something I've got planned, some philanthropic stuff to
look at you.
Well, we'll see if it actually happens. It's all words at the moment, isn't it?
Heavenly brownie points. Well, it's the thought that counts, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. But other than that, what have I been up to? Oh yeah, I've been travelling a lot.
Oh my days, that's the understatement of the year. Have you been travelling? Have you?
Have I? Yes, I have. So in the last few months I've been to Thailand, Croatia, Paris. I'm going to Iceland tomorrow, guys. Sorry, but I'm going to fucking Iceland. This has been a dream of mine for ages. I have to say, you know what? I've always thought that I would get engaged in Iceland. What? Like, I've always pictured myself getting engaged there. I know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not ready. Yeah, it's not happening. But So yeah, it's been great. I feel like very cultured and stuff, but I'm officially broke. So yeah, it's not all like daffodils and roses and stuff. But I mean, you know, money comes and goes.
Feel like
experiences.
Giving out money for travels is like the best investment.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
Like,
yeah,
that is genuinely like better than sort of your home or your car or whatever. Like spending money for travel, like it's such a great investment just in yourself.
Exactly. Well, that's what I've been telling myself. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's spend another this much on the holiday. It's worth it. You're investing in yourself. Do it.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
that's been the little devil on my shoulder telling me to do it. But I mean, I think after Iceland, I do want to kind of take a break and just just take a break and just focus on other stuff that I've got going on in London, like my sewing course, lol. And interior design, lol.
Listen, when you told me about the sewing course, I literally was like, okay, someone's having a bit of a midlife crisis.
Shut up! And then the other day, you're like, I'm getting on that wave too. I'm going to start sewing.
I'm so jealous now. I'm like,
do it.
You get to make your own fucking shit, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mum the other day, and I was like, because I think so. Oh, I was trying to put on something, but it was too loose.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fit things and make them tighter. I know my mum does. So I was calling my mum and I was like, could you just talk me through it? And she's like, I can't fucking talk. It's quite complicated. I can't talk you through it. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And she's like, all these years you lived with me, you never bothered to learn, but now you want to know.
They always say that, don't they? Oh.
And I was like, well, you whining and sort of blaming me isn't going to make things better and isn't going to make this blouse fit any tighter. So just can tell me.
How are mums like so good with stuff like that? Like, we are so out of touch. The only thing we're good at is like bloody technology, and that's useless. It's like we don't actually have any manual skills apart from so I'm like, I was talking to my mum about that as well. She is so good at doing stuff like that, and I'm just like learning now. And she was like, yeah, I was into this stuff when I was like sewing and stuff when I was like 12 or whatever, helping my mum out. And I was like, bloody hell. She was like,
mum.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I used to do work experience in these factories and stuff in Italy back in the day. And I was like, yeah, we don't get any of that anymore. And I'm kind of jealous. So, yeah, looking to do that soon. Just to, like, do something where my mind's not busy. It's just, like...
Exactly, where you're not worried about where your career is going. You know, you haven't invested in any bonds and you haven't done this, and like no worries, and you just can sort of relax. So that's we're jealous. Yeah, things like and you can create your own. You can create your own clothes, which is amazing because
exactly. Vivienne Westwood, watch out. No,
reaching for the stars here. Reaching for the stars. No problem.
Yeah, deluded pretty much. But what are you eating? I'm actually really hungry. I'm actually like
croissant.
Oh god,
really naughty.
I'm craving something quite sweet, like a cake or something.
Yeah. I had like a cheat day yesterday. Well, I say cheat day. I've put on because work is a bit stressful because we have a lot to do. And I come home and I just eat. Like at work, I'm one of these people who doesn't eat a lot at work because then I get like really lethargic if I have a heavy meal. And I just want to doze off like an old man. You know how like old people have like big meals and they just have like a nap. That's what I feel like doing. So I don't eat anything while I'm at work. Just like nibbles and crackers and stuff like that. So once I get home, I just like have a pizza and chocolate and like have some wine and this and that, and it's nice. But I can tell my waistline is proof of that. So I need to like chill out.
Are you bothered about going to the gym, or do you reckon you're gonna kind of
I will pick it up. I will definitely pick it up like once this madness is over with work. So probably like next week I'll start like picking up like eating properly and actually making food and making healthy food. Because I haven't cooked in ages as well.
Yeah, you've always been quite healthy. I remember in London when you used to cook for yourself, you always ate like really nice healthy stuff. So shouldn't be too difficult getting back on the horse again.
Getting it back. It won't be, but yeah. But yesterday was definitely another cheat day, and we just went like because yesterday was the first nice, like really really nice day here. It was almost summery.
Nice.
So a couple of friends, we just went out into the city and just like walked around and just we're literally doing sightseeing, and these are girls, like all three of them, they've lived in Toronto for ages.
Yeah.
And we were like walking through like this alley. Well, it was like several alleys that were stretching through an area, and it was full of like graffiti.
Okay.
And it's really, really like the artwork is mental.
Oh,
it was
wicked.
so nice, bro. Like so nice. But it's protected by the city, so you can't deface it or like clean up or whatever.
Oh, nice. A bit of kind of like street art.
Exactly,
nice,
yeah, it was really,
stuff.
really nice.
Nice.
So we just walked around and saw a few things, and then we just went to a pub and had like drinks and food.
That's nice.
And then
You
we
need
went to
that
go
after a
Sarah
stressful week.
Millican.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was really good. I really, really enjoy her. She's sort of that. She's able to be crass without being disgusting. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it, but I think she's fantastic. She's so unapologetically her. There's no sort of facade, and like there's no sort of I've figured out my life, I've done this. Like no, it's like she's got all the worries that we have, and she's sort of because she's a bit of a bustier lady, and she owns that, and she's like, you know what, I don't give a shit, but at the same time I do struggle with my weight image just because I've been taught that by magazines and media all these years. But so it's nice to just have someone who's so relatable and
yeah.
so, yeah.
She's quite well established. Like she's got quite a few years in the comedy biz, doesn't she? She's been around for a while.
I think she was saying yesterday 14 or 15 years, which that I didn't expect that much. Yeah,
that's great as well for women kind of like breaking it into the comedy industry, because I know a lot of people are kind of like they don't like seeing women in comedy, or they say that women aren't funny and things like that. And she kind of paved the way for that. She is one of the pioneers, I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on her. I do like her as well, actually.
Do you know what? So she was working. I think she had like an office job before she did comedy. Greg Davies was working as a teacher before he did comedy. There's so many people that had like other jobs. Ramesh was a teacher.
Yeah, Ramesh as well. I just read his biography actually.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you did. So I'm just like wondering if you could like have like a break now from your career and like reinvent yourself in a new field, a new area. What would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this question. I think about this almost every day. So it would, first of all, it would start with my look. I'm like heavily into thinking your look is like a piece of art. Like I would live a really creative life. So I would shave all my hair off. I've spoken to you about this so many times. I would do an Amber Rose, and I would like
genuinely do that.
Yeah, I would. And then I'd wear like massive
is that just
earrings.
because like because it's easier to maintain, or is it?
Oh no, because I just love the look. I just think it's so empowering. It's like so artistic. It's just lovely. And I would dye it like neon pink one day, and then I'd have it bleach blonde another day. And then this sounds like a midlife crisis. This sounds like a Britney moment, but I'm telling you, it's not. Like in my mind, it all makes sense.
It makes sense.
and I'd just wear like just clothes that I probably made out of like crazy fabrics and stuff. My job would probably be, I'd do something creative. I think I'd get into interior design, but I'd have to have a lot of money to get into it. So I'd have to have like a sugar daddy or something, someone to fund it, to kind of like get me started, to get me a portfolio and stuff.
If anyone's listening, if you're looking for a business investment or a future investment, Sarah's based in London.
Shut up. Yeah, my details are in the
very
portfolio. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would do something like massively creative, that's
amazing.
Yeah, and my inspiration would be kind of like a fusion of cultures. It would be like an ethnic cultural interior design thing, but also 70s bohemian inspired.
You know who I sort of have in my head when you said that?
Who?
Are you watching Fleabag?
No, I'm not. Should I Google it?
So in it, Olivia Colman plays the main character's stepmom.
Yeah.
And she's sort of this bohemian lady, and I don't know that she does interior designing, but she's sort of very sort of artsy, and I think she's an artist. I think she's a sculptor.
Okay, yeah, she's got that typical look, like the necklace with the hair wrap thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, so yeah, that's me. What about you? What would you do?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, I would love to travel. I would love to just like be in one place to the other.
Really?
And,
Doing what? Like lounging, sightseeing?
Well, sort of working in NGOs if I can, but mostly just traveling and exploring the world, really.
Nice. I can see
I'd
you
love to
doing
do
that.
I would love to do like a David Attenborough thing, but not with like animals, but with like different cultures and just going
Oh my
through...
God, like a kind of like a Ramesh Asian provocateur kind of comedy documentary. Would you do that?
Yeah, but
No.
yeah, but I'm not that funny, do you know what I mean? So it would probably be a bit more to the facts and more documentary than comedy.
I could see you doing that. Or like a history thing. I could see you doing like a history documentary.
Yeah, and just going to like each place and be like, so this is, what's happening and this is why and these are the organizations that you can help, and then moving on to the next country and doing that, and that'd be pretty fantastic because I'd be like combining traveling with media, which would be
The ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's just like a dream vision of mine because I think I'm way too organized to be doing that because I've got like, I want to have like a house, I want to like settle down, and I don't know that I could like live
both.
life without friends unless I get myself an assistant that's really cool, and I don't know, I could get you as my assistant or something.
Oh, cheers. Your PA.
Just someone to like
that.
come with me because I think it'd be a lonely life as well.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But yeah, you could give it a shot, I guess, maybe sometime in the future when in another dimension, in another vortex.
Yeah. But it reminds me because just like saying how that life is lonely, I reminded of the story of this. So this really, really famous violinist that we had, like he was particularly known in Germany. I think he was German, half American or something. But he was really popular in Germany, right? So he was sort of, he mixed classical with rock music.
Yeah.
And he was like touring the world, and after one of these tours, something that he did because he was lonely, because that kind of lifestyle is very, very lonely, is he would get himself an escort.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily only for sex, it was just for company, because he'd be lonely, he'd be spending months and months on the road, and he wouldn't have anyone, his social life would literally be on standstill. So he just missed having someone to go to dinner with or go to the movies with. So he got himself like an escort when he was in New York, and then he genuinely fell in love with this girl.
Aww.
And they like legit had a relationship for 3 years or something.
No way.
I know, right?
Aww.
Then she kind of fucked him over and she's blackmailed him. But yeah, I just thought how weird. Weird ending to the story.
Yeah.
But well, the point just being like, you are so successful. Like everyone adores you. There's all these girls that would love to marry you because he was, I guess, pretty good looking as well. His name, I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, like just being famous and all that stuff doesn't really promise, or it doesn't ensure that you're happy and
of course,
that you have
no,
actually fulfilled life.
Of course, yeah. No, yeah, that is something I do think about as well. Just if I was famous or rich, I'd probably still be the fucking same discontented twat that I am. I don't think it makes a difference at all, does it? There's always something. Or you'd probably be like embroiled in some kind of scandalous money laundering thing or whatever. I feel like the richer you are, the closer you are to being involved in like criminal activities.
Oh my god!
And then you'd have that to stress
just like
about.
rubbing shoulders with some mafia boss and just be like, "Hey,
yeah, probably. Knowing me, always addicted to risk." But yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it? But so yeah, for this podcast I was planning to like touch on Brexit a bit, but I feel like that's maybe a topic for another podcast.
I mean, yeah,
it's a lot to talk about
because I don't even know what to say about Brexit. I've just been watching so much.
There's literally been something new every day,
about it,
yeah,
and it's just
evolving constantly.
I don't even know where we're going with this, honestly. I don't, like, I'm just, it's feel like no one knows what we're doing. I think we're just in this perpetual. I feel like this is just going to be the constant state for the UK for the next 10 years. They're just going to try and figure out a fucking Brexit. Is not going to happen. May's probably going to get voted out. Someone else is going to come in. Some other twat that has no idea.
Yeah.
And he's going to propose a Brexit deal. And people are going to decline it. Because I think deep down, even conservative people, even UKIP, even no matter who, they don't actually want Brexit to happen. Because they know how damaging it would be to the country's economy. And I'm sure that even people like Jacob Rees-Mogg, they don't actually want it. Like, they claim to want it. They claim to be pro-Brexit. But deep down, they know it shouldn't happen. So they're going to vote against any deal that will be proposed. And we're going to be in this fucking limbo of Brexit or no Brexit for the rest of our fucking lives, and it's just so
it seems like it,
horrendous.
and it is really affecting everyone. Like, I saw an article that said that and the rate of antidepressants are on an all-time high. People feeling like so stressed or low about the instability of the situation.
Of course there are.
But then a lot of people are like, oh well, you know, there's this whole culture of a pill for every ill, so it could be that as well. But they are blaming Brexit predominantly, and I don't blame people, because it's like, you know, it does affect a lot of people's lives, a lot of people living in the UK. So it's just very shitty at the moment. It's like, just fucking make a decision and just get on with it and power on with it. It's just the instability that is infuriating, really.
How is it for you, like, living in the country, like, from day to day? Is that something that people sort of talk about every day, or is that something that you can see when you get on the street?
It's definitely spoken about a lot, like at work and just in social circles, and then you get people like clients or whoever calling or whatever, if you have calls with them, and they're like, oh, you know, the line's a bit dodgy, it's probably an effect of Brexit about to happen. And I'm just like, ha ha. So there's lots of like jokes and stuff about it, but I think overall people are just fed up, a bit bored by it as well, and we're just like, no one's really kind of really thinking about it too heavily, where they're like, oh well, a decision's going to be made now, so we need to make changes or whatever. But I guess it has created a lot of kind of debates, and I think it's very clear where some people stand, and that causes a bit of tension as well. So I think that's like globally we're getting into that sort of that state where people think it's acceptable to say anything. Yeah, for sure. And they think they have a free pass just because we have people like Trump in the presidential position, and we have, you know, honestly quite incapable people like May in such a position of power that people just feel like, oh, I can say anything. If Trump can get away with this and literally lie and like spout things that are so clearly not true, then surely I can get away with being racist or homophobe or just saying bullshit which isn't true. That's true, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like what's gonna happen? Like the things that Trump says without any consequence. And just like, honestly, like that guy is like that level of being an idiot and not caring at all. It's quite admirable, to be honest. Like that he actually but it's like you know, like when you have like an argument with a child, and it gives you arguments that don't stand up, and he's talking against himself, or he's just not making any points. Yeah. At all. And you're like, well, you're kind of being dumb. But that's even a child. And he's doing the same. I just don't understand. Yeah. I don't even know really what to say about him. He's just kind of like set the tone for stupidity and shit politics with lack of compassion, and just fucking a lack of just intelligence for like running a country. Yeah. He's literally set the tone for it, and it's like the bar's so much lower now because of him. It's just a shit show. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it really reminds me of what happened in Germany in the 30s with Hitler. Ooh.
It really does. Just because, like, if you compare the countries, you know, Germany after the First World War was in a horrendous position. You know, we just lost the World War. There was such a high rate of unemployment, deep depression, and then this guy, who is sort of charming and is an amazing orator and is so good with the words, promises people that everything will get better. He will make everything better. He will get rid of all the problems. Just trust in him and just vote for him, and he will make all these problems disappear. He doesn't give any specific solutions. He doesn't say what he's going to deliver. He just says that every problem will be solved. And these people are so desperate because they have nothing to hold on to. People are unemployed. There's no way to get, you know, people can't afford to buy their food, to get clothes. So they just trust this person who's sort of who seems to be voicing their concerns and their thoughts. And if you know, par the World War thing, having lost the World War, par that, I think everything matches up to the UK. You know, there's an incredibly high rate of unemployment, and crime and violence, and deep depression.
Definitely.
You know, and then this guy comes and is like, I will make America great again. You know, and then he sort of, you know, the way that Hitler villainized the Jews, he's villainizing immigrants, and people are just latching onto that. And it's horrendous. It's really threatening, and it's really sad, but at the same time, you just can't help but laugh about it because it is comical and sad, and it's just weird. We're just living in a weird period of time, I think.
We are, definitely. Even like in the UK with all this, like the rise of crime and knife crime, and it's like you don't get knife crime as much as you do in other places. And why is that? It's because our government is fucking awful. And like, and I just feel like if we do have a second referendum again, I'm just worried about whether the same decision will be made, or have people actually, you know, have they really learnt from their mistakes, or is the same thing going to happen again? It is worrying because, as you said, it's like the desperation and the ignorance combined together is just making these ridiculous people stay where they are in their positions of power. So it is quite worrying, and I do feel like a lot of the blame is in the hands of the population, and us as well, kind of like just idiots like voting blindly and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
Just
but that's what
based on
democracy,
fear.
I guess is. You know, democracy is messy, and it's chaotic, and it's not clear, and it's not always for the good. Because most people are idiots. I agree, but I guess that's just what we sort of, you know, we don't live in a dictatorship, and I mean, would it be nice to be living in a dictatorship? I don't know, bro. I wouldn't mind having someone like Akala having exactly that.
My god, I love Akala.
That appearance he made on Piers on what was it? Good Morning Britain. Is that the show that Piers Morgan has?
I think so.
I think that was the first time that I saw Piers Morgan make sense and agree and actually listen to the guest.
So for anyone who hasn't seen it, basically, so Akala was on the show and Piers Morgan was basically asking him about kind of knife crime and what the resolution was. And his resolution was that basically he was saying that knife crime is poverty linked. It's not a racially linked thing. And he calls it kind of youth crime because knife crime is kind of like a racialized buzzword now. And his point is, you know, that children need to have access to education and to be able to know that they have a bright future and like something to look forward to. Because obviously if you have a kid that comes from really poverty stricken background and they have a really horrible kind of home setting and adults that really don't trust them and don't really put their belief in them, obviously like a spell in prison isn't going to be, you know, it's not going to be like that scary and threatening if they don't have that much to look forward to.
Exactly.
So he was basically just kind of advising like or talking about kind of the environment to create so that kids aren't committing these crimes. And Piers was like, he was actually all for it. Because at first he was trying to push the racial agenda. He was like, knife crime is like racially linked because in Glasgow, Akala was saying, in Glasgow a lot of these knife crimes, you know, committed by white kids as well. And why is that? And Piers was like, he didn't really know what to say. So it is a big topic, just like, underprivileged children.
Yeah.
And also there was, I don't know if you saw it, there was a teacher on Question Time, and she was talking about the same topic. It went viral. And she was just saying how it's totally the government's fault, and that all the cuts to like early preventative measures have basically caused this fuckery. So she was like, the government needs to kind of give schools, police and public services the funding they need. And that's another thing that pisses me off. It's like, it's just ridiculous. Just like stupid cuts, and then it's like a massive deal when all these crimes are happening. Well, what do you fucking expect? Like, sort it out, honestly. But yeah.
That was a cheery little moment.
I'm just so pissed off because I'm like,
it's
such
true,
a lack of like care and compassion for people, and then they're like shocked when knife crime is the highest that it is anywhere in Europe. Like, what do you expect? And it's just a shame.
It's so counterproductive to like how politicians are working right now. It doesn't seem to be, I've got this position for 4 years or 3 years or 6 years, and I'm going to do my best to get rid of all these situations while I can, and I don't care whether my party or I get re-elected into this position. I'm just going to use the time that I've been given to serve the people. Like, that will ensure that you go down into history as an amazing MP or legacy. PM. Exactly, but whereas these people are right now, it just seems that all they care about is making their party be in power for as long as possible. But then people will hate you at the end of the day. History will not look at you favourably. So I'm just like, why are you doing this? You're literally shitting in your own shoe. Like, what are you doing? Just think about it long term.
I think that's the issue. We don't have leaders that are really leaders. They've lost sight of what it actually means to be, like someone who creates positive change and genuinely cares about the people. We literally just have career politicians who just care about themselves as individuals and furthering and glamorizing their own kind of public profile. That's all they care about. We do need someone like a Carla in Parliament. We need to change the face of Parliament completely.
Carla
I think.
for president, or prime minister, I suppose. But honestly,
seriously.
Anyways, let's change the topic. I'm getting depressed. This is not how I want our Sunday to be. And we're kind of getting close to 15 minutes, and we set 30 minutes. So let's not overwhelm our listeners on the first 2019 podcast.
Exactly.
So anything lighter? Do you have anything lighter?
Oh, God, what do I have? No, it's just all depressing stuff. I'm like looking through my script and it's like just dark stuff. What about you? Any funny, weird stories?
I've got no funny, weird stories, but I wanted to talk about... Well, I do have one weird story. So I'm staying with my cousin right now.
Yeah.
And this is, again, I think this has potential to go into the creepy, into the weird, but...
Oh, God.
So I'm sat in the car, right? I'm parked in front of a school. I think
oh my God!
On this. Oh, okay. I'm a woman, okay. Well, shut up. It's mostly white men that are pedophiles.
Fucking hell!
There's just a couple who just got married, like on the school. Why would you get married
in a school?
Oh,
they must be teachers. Or
maybe, but they're getting pictures taken. Anyways, he's got like a full white suit though. Like she's wearing white, but he's wearing a full white suit.
That reminds me of JME.
It's like a Backstreet Boys fucking video.
Oh my God, JME. He got married in like a fully white suit and trainers.
Did he?
Yeah,
in Vegas.
So no, in trainers with with like a what's it called? Oh, what is it called? Like a head wrap thing.
Let me Google
I don't know what it's called. But yeah, just Google like JME.
That's hilarious. Well,
wedding.
I actually do like the suit and sneaker look, I have to say. I'm quite a big fan of that.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
It just the stereotypes.
Well, yeah. I think it just looks good. Like some people can wear. Oh, it's white sneakers as well. He looks like he's wearing a white condom. Wait, is that him?
God knows.
Oh no, that's black. Oh, she's
I don't really like men in. Yeah, she is hot, but I don't like men in white suits. I just think that's so
full white. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, like white tie as well.
Weird. Well, Jamie's got a black tie. I don't know about this. I can only see his back. This seems like I'm invading their privacy. Like I feel like some voyeur. Okay.
You are.
Shut
So
up.
last night, I hope my friend isn't listening, but last night I was meant to go out and I did
Then you
something naughty.
cancelled.
I did something naughty. I'm not gonna expose myself, but I basically fell asleep, and because I was so freaking tired, I went out on Friday and I had a few drinks, and when I drink, I can't sleep properly, so I woke up at like 7 a.m. right, and on a Saturday, and I was like, so we planned to go out at like 10 p.m. on Saturday.
Go out at 10 p.m. Jesus.
Do you know what I mean? So I was so dead. By the time it got to 10, I was like, I'm so ready for bed. I'm literally.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah, at 10
in
p.m.
another
That's
world.
like I've done my good night routine. Like I've brushed my teeth.
Yeah,
I've got, like my
exactly.
night cream on.
Your night crew. So basically, I was just like, to be fair, the club gets good around that time. So we were like, let's meet up at 10 and go pre-drinking. But I'm like, you know what? Who am I kidding? I actually love my sleep. And I have so much to do today. I have so much to do that I just can't spoil the whole day by being hungover. So I fell asleep,
Yeah,
and
that's
my
true.
friend just texted me now saying, are you okay, hun? So I should probably reassure her that I'm not like in some weird depressive phase. And I'm taking like sleeping pills or whatever and sleeping during weird hours. But yeah, I mean,
No, it's funny because I did the same thing on Friday.
yeah.
Can we just please, in a minute, address the fact how weirdly in sync we are, like creepily fucking
Oh my
in
god,
sync
yeah. Yeah, we are.
But before
very
that, yeah, I
in
did the
sync.
same thing on Friday. A friend of mine, he had a housewarming, and I was quite looking forward to it because I hadn't met that group of people for a long time. I got him like a nice bottle of wine, and I was like ready to go even before. Because usually when I go to work, I dress like a hobo. Because who the fuck cares, right? I shower, put on anything
No,
that
you
like
don't.
smells good, and then I
Right.
leave.
Yeah.
And then, but on Friday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to my friends, and I'm gonna meet all these grown-up people who are like lawyers and like work in banks. And I was like, I gotta make an effort. And then I was getting in the car after work, and I stayed a bit later at work, and I was just like, I'm so. I got in the car, I turned my car, and I was like, I'm not going. I'm so not going. Like, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna go get some food, have that wine for myself, and I'm gonna fucking Netflix.
Night in
I
for
just
one, baby.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just getting so old. And I was like, and like, tomorrow you're going out with the girls, and then you're going to see Sarah Millican. Like, you don't want to like overload yourself with social interaction. Like, just take it easy.
Yeah. Fuck it. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Like, I also have a friend who just always, she's so honest about stuff like that. Like, when she's had too many social interactions for a week, she's like, sorry, can't do this day. I'm just so like drained with all the social stuff I've done this week, so no. Like, she's just fucking upfront about
bless.
it rather than lying. Yeah.
Good
And
for
I was
her,
like,
fam.
yeah, I was like, yeah, that's good. And she's quite introverted, so
Oh, yeah.
I see that. I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
would,
for sure, for
I
sure.
wish I was that honest, but I just can't be.
No.
Because I just feel like people
Because
take
you
it
just feel a
personally.
bit bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you
Like,
know, it
it's not
isn't personal. I would have
you.
loved to go, but it's just me. I'm just so tired. And I know I would be shitty company. I know
Yeah.
I'd be in my head, and I'd just be like, oh, can I just go fucking home?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I get it, but yeah,
But
we're like,
basically, you fucking witch, you... what happened that we... Something really weird happened. Like,
It
I
always
woke up on
happens.
Saturday morning, and I was thinking about... Oh, because you'd seen something about sort of the over-sexualization of women, didn't you?
Yes.
So what happened?
So basically, I was going through Instagram, and
So on Saturday morning, you were going through Instagram, yeah.
and then I was just like, I was in one of those weird moods where, well, everything on my feed was just hypersexualized stuff. Like, if it was either like women shaking their asses in like thong bikinis, or like advertising like a yogurt in like with their boobs out, and I was like, fucking hell, this is like, it's too much for me. It was just overwhelming, and I was like, fucking hell,
Having
why
the
do I
boobs for
have
the yogurt
this?
is so inappropriate. What, like,
Yeah,
I
it's
use
just-
my milk from my tits to create this yogurt? Like,
People will find any kind of link, like sex sells.
Ugh.
But I was just, you know, when you're just like, I'm really not in the mood for this. It's like so early in the morning, and what the hell, man? Just relax. Like, there's such a big difference between like being objectified and being like sexy and empowered. And I felt like all
Yeah.
of that was like very rapey and very objectifying kind of in that area. So, and then, so I told you about it. No, it's weird because you told me that you...
No, yeah. So I work, because obviously I live in Canada, so there's like a, what was it, like 4-hour time difference?
Yeah.
So this happened to you on Saturday morning, and I woke up Saturday morning, and the first thought in my head was how... I think I had sort of like one of those early morning dreams about it.
Yeah.
How we are being so overly sexualized. And I was just thinking how in German media, there still is hypersexualized images of women, but not to the extent that you have in the Americas or even in the UK, right? I feel like mainland Europe is much more progressive in that way, and I just like, that thought came out of fucking nowhere, right?
God,
so I just like Saturday
bizarre,
morning. Saturday morning, I was leaving Sarah a voice note, just thinking about, like, talking about all the weird dreams that I had, and, like, this thought that just popped into my head. I was like, dude, it's so weird. I don't know why I thought this, but, like, I was just thinking how in German TV, I was watching German telly the other day, and I remember seeing this girl who was sort of, you know, she was hosting the show. It's like a late night show, right? It's quite a popular show, and this girl was just like wearing like jeans and a cardigan and a t-shirt. Like she looked really nice. She looked like very put together. But she could have been like, I don't know, like on the cover of a Gap or Old Navy magazine. Like she looked really put together and nice. But it was jeans and a cardigan. And on women, that's not an image on me in media that I'm very used to. Usually you see them in like fancy dresses and gowns and like over sexualized with their tits out and all that stuff. And I was thinking how in Europe or in Germany, I should, you know, keep to what I know, you do have sexualized images. Again, you do, of course you do, but there seems to be more of an acceptance for girls to just look like the way they fucking look. Like it's fine.
And you were telling me as well how like it's like that's why feminism there isn't as like as much of a pressing issue as it is like in the Americas or whatever, because it's like it kind of goes without saying, it's like women are equals, you know, they're entitled to what we're entitled to, whereas it's still a new concept. I'm
not saying that there isn't systemic discrimination against women. Of course there is. We're not perfect, but compared to the Americas, it isn't that huge. And like, you know, having stuff like, you know, sexual harassment at the workplace, like being limited in your workplace due to your gender, that isn't that big of an issue. Like we've had a female chancellor, we've had women in power as CEOs, as whatever, as managers. We're more used to that concept, it seems. Like the question of how you're dealing with life and kids, like it isn't that much of an issue in Germany than it is in the rest of the world, it seems. Again, I don't want to glorify Germany. It's not a place, and I don't want to take away from issues that German women have in the country. I'm sure they do, and I know they do. But just comparing it to the Americas, or even maybe comparing it to the UK, it's not as prominent. So the need for feminism is still there, but maybe not as pressing, and, you know, obviously depending on sort of the environment that you live in and sort of the people that you interact with. If you live, you know, in an environment where all the women that you know are being supported, and that wouldn't be a rare thing in Germany, you wouldn't really understand the need for feminism.
Exactly.
That's just like, when you told me you were scrolling through, so I was like, bitch, you totally put that in my fucking head.
Yeah, it's so weird, and it's not even the first time that's happened.
No. We have so many things, like, when I feel shitty, you feel shitty, and I'm like, dude, I've had like the weirdest week with like the weirdest mood, and you'd be like, yeah, me too, and I'd be like,
or the weirdest dreams. I was like, yeah, me too. It's crazy. We're cosmically intertwined. That's like, remember how like yesterday I was like, oh my god, Idris Elba, I was like trying to find like links to him, but at all costs.
I read that message and I was like, I don't even know what to make of it. Where did even Idris Elba come into the equation? Like,
I know.
Was it just you watching Luther too much?
Yeah, I was like watching way too much Luther, and then I started watching some interviews of him and Matthew McConaughey, like literally like the best looking men in the world, probably.
I was going to say you quite are quite inclined to
they just
to
both
Matthew
have
McConaughey
that,
as well.
yeah, they have that very like brooding, like very sultry kind of older guy, mature guy, comfortable in my own
they're
skin
men,
kind of
they're
look.
not boys, they're
Yeah.
men. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, just like one video led to another, and I was like, let me Google his birthday. And then I found out that he was born in September, and he's the same star sign as me. So I was like, yeah, I totally get it now. Like, that's why I'm so connected to him.
What star sign are you?
Virgo.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I know you are. Maybe that's why we're connected.
That's
but
why
not
we're
really.
connected.
Nah, it's because we're sisters. We were sisters in another life.
We're sisters from different misters? Is that what they say?
Some weird fucked up story there. But yeah.
Honestly, like, probably, like, in one of our previous lives, we were probably twins and I ate you or you ate me in the womb or something.
Oh god,
like
you
that.
probably ate me, knowing you. God.
Bitch.
So yeah, no, it's been really nice catching up though. It's been a really good podcast.
Right? Yeah, I
we are
really
definitely
enjoyed it.
planning to do more of this, hopefully.
Yes.
Maybe come back, because I know the interracial and interreligious one was quite good. I had good feedback from that. Well, we both did. And so we might maybe do like another serious one, like another hot debatable topic maybe. Would you think?
Yeah, something controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But this will definitely be popping up more, and we'll be investing our time a bit more into this, just because, oh my god, we haven't done it so
and
long, and it just feels so good
Yeah.
doing it, and just
It's like a good outlet.
Exactly. And now that we don't even have the pressure of, having to edit and doing all that stuff, that just takes away so much time, because we used to edit like as long as like doing the podcast, and but with both of us having sort of, a job and a life to get back to, that sounds really haughty.
Yeah.
But it was something that just was very difficult to sort of accommodate into our plan. Whereas now that we say, you know what, we're not going to bother editing. We're just going to have the intro music, the outro music, and bam, you're going to have the end result.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I'd be more interested in sort of doing going forward.
For sure. So yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna try and come up with some topics in the next few weeks, maybe when I'm back from Iceland, and then come back with like a new
some
podcast
crazy stories about Vikings.
Oh god. Yeah,
Some
and the Blue
big Viking
Lagoon.
men.
We're going whale watching, by the way, so I'm a bit scared
my
of
God,
that.
are you?
Hopefully our boat doesn't get tipped over, but that should
Wait, does that
hopefully
actually happen?
I don't fucking know. Probably not. I just made it up.
Why would you even think that? Why would your mind even go there?
Why wouldn't it? I don't know. I always think of the worst case scenarios. But yeah, if I don't die from whale watching, then yeah.
I mean, that'd
watch
be a
out for our next
fucking
podcast.
fantastic story for me to tell at your wake.
Yeah. Go for it. Make a podcast out of it. But yeah, so
Oh yeah. I'll actually like live record it on Instagram or something.
minute by minute,
Have my
Twitter
15
feed
minutes
the
of fame
funeral.
in the social media world. That's the
you
goal.
would do that. But okay, so should we end the podcast? Or...
Wrap it up?
Let's do it.
Absolutely, let's. I mean, we aimed for half an hour and we got 1 hour, so that's
There
brilliant.
you go. So yeah,
All right,
I mean,
guys.
yeah, thanks
You go.
for listening to today's podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any suggestions or ideas for upcoming topics, get in contact. You can tweet us. I think our Twitter's still active, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
most_mosaic, or email us at
Mosaic at gmail.com.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much for, I guess, being loyal, which is such a rare trait in these days. And hopefully hear back from you, or hopefully we'll get some emails and some feedback from you, and hopefully we will see you, or rather you will hear us on our next podcast.
Yes. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.